there, welcome to Garden Friends. I'm Andrea here in Tampa, Florida. It's August 10th, and I'm here with one of my Plumeria. So this particular Plumeria is in the shade, and it's done quite well. It's spindly, but the leaves are green, and it blooms really nicely. It's a Key West red. It's a really pretty color. It's solid, which most of mine are variegated in some way. But I want to point out that this was taken from a cutting, and it was a very small cutting. You can see way down here where my cutting was. When a Plumeria blooms, it sends out 3 new branches around that bloom. You see my 3 branches there, and then every time it blooms, it sends out 3 more branches. And then you can see here where we're blooming, we've got some new branches coming out, and so on and so forth. And then you get this big sprawling specimen. And I will probably, once it finishes blooming and starts losing its leaves, I'll probably cut it back off of the sidewalk, because I don't want to break it somewhere that, you know, I don't want it broken. Now here's one that I grew from seed. It's in a pot. It needs to go into the ground. I think it'll spread a lot more once it gets into the ground. It's kind of hard in pots because you've got to keep them watered. That one has a nice color. And with seeds, I understand you're never quite sure of what you're going to get, because the seeds are pollinated by the little pollinators. And if you have different colored Plumeria in your yard, you might get some kind of hybrid. Here's another one that we grew from some cuttings we found on the side of the road about 2.5 years ago. You can see he was a tiny little cutting, and then it's branched off, and it really is happy here, even though it's underneath the papaya. And it's next to this one, who is probably my favorite. I don't know if there's a name, what particular name, but our neighbor gave us this cutting several years ago, and it's just one of my favorites. It's got so many different shades in it. Now I've got this big monster of a Plumeria. I got some seeds from the Moody Mansion in Galveston, Texas, probably April of 2017, and that's how long it's been growing. And I don't think I can really capture this well with my phone. It's just enormous. It just sort of keeps going. You can look through here. It's just huge, and it's a pretty pink color. We've got it propped up with a 4x4 post, and we put some heavy-duty cord around it because that trunk is just massive. And it's been in the ground here, I'd say, since 2019, and it was quite small when we put it in the ground. And this is enormous. I've got some others from the same seeds that are not in bad locations, but they haven't done anything close to what this one has. It's just enormous. Over here I have a yellow, and it grows horizontally. It's crazy. It looks like something from Alien. And we had a bad storm that came through last weekend, Tropical Storm Debbie, and it broke off most of my branches. I have some small ones here that, well, they broke off last year during one of our storms, and that's just what's grown from this year. So this, I'm going to cut it down. I'm probably going to cut it down right about here and see what happens. I've got several yellow branches, so that if this one goes south on me, I can try again. The yellow we've had for a very long time. We've moved a couple of times, and I've always taken a piece with me. So I will hold on to this. Now, this particular Plumeria I've had for about 15 years, and it's always been in a pot. And last time we transplanted it, we thought, oh, well, we better find a good spot for it, because I don't think it'll be happy in a pot, but it just keeps growing. It's green, and it keeps blooming, and it makes a nice little flower. So here are some Plumerias from my yard. Some of them we've grown from seed, and I'll tell you,
Plumerias in general are very easy to grow. We are in Tampa, and so I can grow them year round. I can keep them in the ground. They like sun. They will tolerate shade. I give them some standard fertilizer. I keep them watered. I try not to water the leaves, but it is Florida, so it does rain on them because they do have a little rust now and then. But they really are a very easy and beautiful addition to your garden. And I hope that you've enjoyed them as much as I do. So thank you for watching me. And if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. You have a great day.